Welcome to another Toy of the Day here on KastorsCorner.com. I'm your host, Khalil, and you can check out a full gallery of this figure, this one right here, up on KastorsCorner.com, as well as our previous look at this big boy up on KastorsCorner.com. You can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. All the links are down below. Our podcast issues have been fixed. Part 1 of our trip to Long Island is up. Our interview with Rich Merrick is up, or Myrick is up, and we've got a lot of good stuff coming. We're just trying to figure out timing and stuff like that. So, and we got new shirts. We got more shirts. We'll have more later in the week too. So tonight's review is about this new Harley Quinn from the Suicide Squad. You know, I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you, because the first movie was Suicide Squad. The second movie was Suicide Squad. But it wasn't called Part 2. So I don't really know at this point what it's actually even called. But Margot Robbie is one of the characters who gets to come back and do her thing as Harley Quinn. And Bill and I were talking about it yesterday and initially asked the question, like, why this costume? Like, why the dress? She spends most of the movie in the dress. So it was a really good choice. She comes with javelin, and the shorts here for our King Shark here, the blue checkered shorts, which I actually think I like better than the greenish plaid ones. But so McFarlane took a stab at the Margot Robbie figure. The first Margot Robbie figure that they were planning on doing was from Birds of Prey, and it got canceled. And it was rumored that it had to do with the likeness rights and whether or not it looked good. And so the figure got shelved, never got put out, and now it's been resolicited. So you can find that online. There's been links to, I think, Target, maybe Walmart, maybe Amazon, have links to the newer version, or the Birds of Prey version, like the gold jumpsuit version. I liked the new Suicide Squad movie. I think James Gunn did an amazing job translating comic book to film. I think it was one of the better representations. It might be my favorite DC film to date, closely followed or tied with Wonder Woman, the first one. But I think they captured the essence of every character. Idris Elba was great. Margot Robbie was great. They didn't shy away from the R rating and really went for it, and I think that that's what really made it successful. So she comes with javelin, and you can see it is not straight. Unfortunately, just from being out of the package, it warped. I don't really think they did a great job introducing the A Squad, B Squad, whatever they want to call it. And I actually had to look up whose this was and was there any significance to it. You know, was it like the Spear of Destiny, or was it some kind of special? No, just a javelin by a guy named Javelin. This version of Harley, they did a really excellent job transferring all the tattoos. So she is tattooed head to toe, different things, different colors. There's some up here, upside down. Clearly she had done herself. On her thigh. She got the back tattoo changed. There are close-ups of these up on in the gallery for this figure. In her combat boots. Articulation's really good. Double knees, double elbows. The giant ball joints for the ankles, but they don't stand out as much. Well, I mean, from this angle, it kind of does. I'm not a fan of what they're doing with those, to be honest with you. She doesn't suffer as much with her wrists. From certain angles, you can see they kind of, because they're balls, they jut out. So instead of having a flat piece on the forearm here, it kind of comes out on both sides, and so it leaves this irregular. It's harder to see on her because of her skin tone. But you'll see it in the pictures. It juts out a little bit more. It's not as pronounced as it is on Fate, where it's just this kind of weird purplish, grayish kind of flesh color for him. They're all the same tone here, so it doesn't stand out as much, but it definitely does something to the sight lines on the forearms to the wrist. Definitely breaks it up and makes it look either the forearms are too short or the wrist and arm are too long. I haven't really been able to kind of identify what it really does. But otherwise, I mean, she's really well articulated. You can pose her out pretty good. She's got great, she can look up to see Starro if she wants, and she can look down. Or she can look down at King Shark if she wants. Or, just kind of look straight ahead. I think they did a really good job with it. The top piece here is a separate piece from the rest of it. What I did notice when I was taking pictures are there's a few cracks in the back, in the neck area of it. And so long term, as long as you're not moving her torso around too much, I think you should be okay. But that softer plastic that they use for the dress, it does have the possibility of tearing, and I can already see a few cracks and tears in there just from moving her around. So just be careful with that and look out for that. She does come with the card, and it's actually Margot Robbie, not the figure, which is nice. She's a little more pale in the card. She's got a little more of a skin tone here, so it's a little more natural. But I really think that they captured her likeness so well in this figure. Nice little smirk, nice little look. I think they did a great job with it. So no complaints here. Great build of figure. I think of all the Suicide Squad figures so far, hopefully they do Wave 2, because I think we all need a Sebastian figure, really. Like, who doesn't want a Sebastian figure? If McFarlane could put out a plush Sebastian, that would be even better. But I think of all of them, not counting him because he's a CGI character, but Peacemaker, Bloodsport, and Polka Dot Man, I think the likeness on her is the best. I don't think they really captured it with the other people. I think they got it kind of loosely, and it reminds me of kind of like the 80s action figures where they're close, but they're not right there. I think they nailed this like down perfectly. And honestly, she's the only one I purchased. I saw her in the store, passed on her for the first time, grabbed her the second time, and wasn't interested in getting the other one. So happy to have her. And then thankfully we got the other one, so I can switch off the shorts and it's no big deal. So the gold label edition. So there you go. So she comes with her javelin, her card, and the lower legs of King Shark. So there you go. Really happy with her. Really. I think it's one of those figures where she'll be in like my one-off section where like I don't have the full line, I don't have everybody, but she's kind of like the one character from that line. Her, King Shark will kind of hang out. I'm trying to think if I have any others kind of kicking around. Johnny Depp, I'll have her with my Jack Sparrow and my Rocketeer and my Phantom figures, and they just kind of hang out together because they're kind of like the Land of Misfit Toys is basically kind of because they don't fit into one genre or another because I don't collect the rest of them. So, but there you go. Harley Quinn, Suicide Squad movie, the newest version of Margot Robbie. I'd actually pick this over United States Figure Arts or MayFX or whatever. I'm sure that they're going to do a great job if they ever get to them. And I have the first Suicide Squad Harley Quinn from the SH Figure Arts. But for your money, I think this one captures the likeness enough that if you just want a Suicide Squad 2 version of Margot Robbie, I don't think you need to go any further. I think this is a great representation. So there you go. Check out a full gallery of her and our past archive with King Shark up on castorscorner.com. Follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. And check out the Cornercast podcast up on Apple Podcasts every Monday night. This week with Jesse and DJ in part 1 of our trip to Long Island. And last week with our friend Rich from the Nassau Company, talking all things, toys that made us, the movies that made us, all those shows. And check out our TeePublic page to get your own Kastor's Corner t-shirt. We'll be uploading more designs in the next few weeks, hopefully, if I can get around to those. And hit the subscribe button. The more of you that subscribe, the more cool things we get to do, and then we get to share them with you. And that's the best part of this. So go check out the gallery and come back tomorrow for another toy of the day here on CastorsCorner.com. See you tomorrow, everybody.